Well, morning. It is a fantastic April sunny day and I'm after bream. That's right, bream. I'm targeting them. Now, before I get anything ready, my peg is an absolute mess. I'm going to bait up a couple of areas in my swim. So I've got this marginal bit here where I'm going to fish a float. So I'm just chucking some pellets, some maggots and a bit of ground bait. And then I've got to swim out there where I'm going to fish the feeder a little bit further out. And with a bit of luck, we can get a bream. But before we start that, let's find out a little bit more about the humble snotty.
Bronze bream are the largest freshwater bream in the UK, getting up to 20 pounds, though a fish half this size is a specimen. Also called a skimmer when young because of their lacklustre fight, just skimming across the surface when caught. They start off as a pale silver, then gradually over time develop a deep bronze colour. Bream are mostly bottom feeders with a protruding jaw to engulf food. They tend to hang around in large shoals, and a sign of their presence is often when you see disturbed, murky water. Bream tend to live in slow-moving rivers, canals and large lakes, often in open water where they use their large shoal as protection. Most standard baits work for them, like maggot, worm, corn and bread.
April's a funny time of year, isn't it? This morning started with a frost. Now look at it, blazing sunshine. I'm sweating like crazy, but I love it. Everything's going green, there are wildflowers starting to show, birds are starting to nest, and the fish are starting to get active. That's why I'm targeting bream today. The water's starting to warm up a little bit. Came here last night to pre-bait. I'm not necessarily a big believer that you have to do it, but I think it does help. So I dropped a couple of kilograms of bait out there trying to get the fish going, and on the walk back I did see some bream on the surface, so who knows. I've not caught many big bream in my life, so any bream today would be absolutely fantastic. So I've just about got the peg ready, still a bit of a mess. I've got my float in the margins just over there, so I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to set up the feeder rig now. So pretty simple, much like myself. I've got a open-ended cage feeder which I'm going to put some ground bait in, and then I've got a short hook link which you might be able to see with an 18 on. 18's a bit smaller than I would have liked, but it's the only hook I had, so not exactly precision fishing today. I've got some ground bait, it says bream on it, so it must work. Put that in there, I'm going to mix that up, and with a little bit of luck we'll get some bream, so I'm going to chuck that out. I've been fishing for about an hour now and it's pretty slow, but bream fishing can be like that. Not that I'm an expert, but I know they might turn on. Maybe I should have got here a little bit earlier. What I'm lacking in fish though, more than making up for with birds, as you can probably hear around me. There are sand martins coming down onto the water, they're getting a little drink. They will have arrived from Africa not long ago and they'll be nesting in some of the sandbanks along the Trent Valley. But the bird that I'm most excited to see, not particularly a rare bird, but it's a proper bird, which is the great crested grebe. It's my favourite. I absolutely love them. And this time of year, they'll be doing their courtship. Now, I've never seen the full thing. It's on my bucket list of wildlife spectacles in the UK. But essentially, they rise up and dance. I've seen them kind of do a little bit of courtship. And there's been one or two today going up and down, which I take as a good sign, because the grebes wouldn't be here if there wasn't fish. So if the grebes are here, there are fish. So bream. They're not everyone's favourite fish, are they? Let's face it. I've got a bit of an admiration for them, if I'm honest with you, which is maybe something you shouldn't admit on the internet, but I don't think bream are all that bad. I think if more people caught big bream, they'd like them a lot better. A double figure bream is an impressive animal. Not that I've caught one anywhere near that, but I've seen them. Big bream are impressive creatures. I suppose anglers don't like them because they're slimy, they're snotty, they just sort of keel over like a bag of spuds. They're not the greatest fighters. Although river bream can put up a bit of a fight if you get them on the right gear. But there is something about a bream. I like bronze bream as well. No one calls them bronze bream. It's always common bream or just bream. But I think bronze bream really does suit them. They look like if someone's got a chub and gone splat. They are really, really bronze when you get them bigger, particularly in clear water. Hopefully I can show you one today. I've never wanted to catch a bream so badly in my life. Everything's going wrong. I broke my catapult, so I can't get bait out there. I didn't bring my sunnies, so I'm being blinded and pelted by the sun. I always think, well, it's not the summer, so I'm not going to get sunburnt, but I'm going to be redder than a tomato after today. I'm going to stick with it. I've not had any confident bites either. I've had the odd twitch on the feeder. And I'm only using a size 18 maggot, so, you know, you'd think anything would take that pretty confidently. All things considered though, there's worse places to be sat, isn't there? So I don't mind. The rod's wobbling a little bit. I did pull it in earlier and the maggots were chewed, so there's at least one fish in here that had a go, but didn't commit.
Fishing is the art of being patient, and while sat waiting for the bream, it's a great opportunity to just take in the surroundings. Eventually though, I did get a decent bite on the feeder rod.
I have never wanted to catch a bream as much as today. That was a hard-won bream. Get this hook out of his mouth. That's a good one. That is a good bream. Wow. You are not small. Beautiful. I have never worked as hard as that before for a bream. But what a bream! This is almost certainly, oh, I'll just pull him out, almost certainly my biggest bream ever. Try and get a bit of a trophy shot. That is one big slimy bream. What a fish. I'm absolutely chuffed with that. Bronze bream. Let's get it back. Off you go. So I literally just put that fish back, and I cast out. I was thinking I might just pack up. I thought, you know, I've got my bream, I'll pack up, and I thought I'll just do a cheeky cast while I'm packing up, and straight away I'm into another bream. So the shoal's obviously moved in. Come on. Come on. Way. Not as big as the first one, but I'll take it. Oh, lovely. I do know what I'm doing then. It's not all bullshit. That's good. Well, most of it's bullshit, but not as big as the other one, but a beautiful fish. I'm being converted. I think bream are pretty cool. I like that. That's a lovely fish. Let's get it back. Well, I've moved spots to around the top of the lake, and the sun's gone in. It's a bit cloudy. Day is getting on, and there's a little outfall here from the Trent. So I'm going to trot afloat and see if we can't pick something up there. There's obviously a shoal of something down there, but no idea what. Heron's making a racket. There's actually a heronry right in front of me. You can see a pair of them coming in every now and again. Probably catching more fish than me. There's fish rising, so that looks like something's took it. The float's not going down weirdly, so I think what's happening is either a small fish are grabbing it as the maggot's floating down, or the fish is staying up in the water. Oh, Setti's warbler there, I think anyway. Feel free to correct me if you're a birder. All right, third time lucky. Come on. There we go. Right. That cast deserved a fish. Come on. Oh, do I hit that? There, that's a fish. That's a fish. That's a fish. And it's a bleak. Right. Well, that's a strange catch from a still water, but actually, because you've got this pipe coming out of the Trent here, it's not that surprising that there'll be bleak hanging around it. You get the winter floods as well. Never really considered bleak to be a still water fish, but there's no reason why they can't. Wow. Huh. Nice surprise. Silvery little... blinding me with how silver it is. Wow, let's get it back, because bleak don't do very well out the water. Let's get you back. Off you go. Let me just have a look in my bag. Let's see what I can find. Oh look, it's a thumbs up. Why don't you do that to the vid if you've been enjoying it? Oh god, that was horrible. Well, the float's bobbing. Something's having a go. Little fish. Oh, skimmer, I think. Skimmer. No, no, no. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I'm going to have a closer look at this. Now, it's not the biggest fish today, but slippery maybe. That, I'm pretty confident, is a silver bream, which that was my ulterior motive today. I didn't want to say it at the beginning because there aren't many in here, but they do turn up. They've got to be one of the most underrated fish in the UK. So let's find out a little bit more about silver bream.
Silver bream are the less common cousin of the bronze bream. They're much smaller, rarely getting over a pound, with an absolute specimen being over 2 pounds. Apart from the silver coloration, which is much more pronounced in silver bream, they also have a larger eye, amber tinted fins, and the mouth doesn't protrude like in a bronze bream. Naturally, they occur in eastern flowing rivers, but have been spread to other parts of the UK now, being found in lakes and canals also. Float and feeder tactics work well for them, with baits like maggot, worm, meat and bread.
Well, I don't think people are going to be bivvying up for silver bream anytime soon, but it's quite a handsome fish. It really, lives up to its name unsurprisingly. Very silver. Beautiful. I did not think we'd get both bream today, so I'm absolutely chuffed with that. Fantastic. Let's get it back. Well, I was absolutely chuffed to get those common bream. Took me a long time, but I did manage to get a couple. And that silver bream was a real bonus. I really wasn't sure if we were going to get one of those. If you've been enjoying the videos, leave us a thumbs up and put a comment down below. What species do you think I should go after next? I'm trying to get 100 different species in the UK on camera. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel, liking the video and subscribing to the channel really helps me out. But you can also donate to my buymeacoffee.com link, and all the money from that goes back into making new films for the YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. You can check out some other videos in the links here. Also check out my website and social media, as well as the podcast that I host, the Bearded Tits Podcast. Cheers.